my meals, I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, skrilling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
Woodward! We are back. Woo! Woodward heavyweights.
That's right.
Spencer, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Easy, how you feeling?
Obviously, no Spenny or Easy right now. Let's try and think of how to word this. They partied a little too hard last night. They're on the pup list, out indefinitely. Yeah. They'll be back. They'll make their return. Don't you worry about that. But for now, it's myself, Lukas Klotz, the ball knower. And who do I have to my left?
Hey, they call me Detroit Kool Aid. I also go by Brandon, and I can't be more ecstatic than to be on this crew with you, with JB, with Chris Platte.
We got a squad
right,
here,
bro.
We got the squad.
Yeah,
Chris,
let's
JB,
go.
how we feeling? How we feeling, fellas?
I mean, it's a victory Friday. It's not a victory Monday. It doesn't even get better than that. Like, now we have a weekend to do what Easy and Spencer did last night, which is go off. So I'm ready for it.
That is very true, and it's very rare that we actually get to celebrate victories twice in 1 week. So
That's true.
Hey, we got to turn up while we can, and of course the heavies did that already. But now it's our turn to do that, and then our turn to do that on the
I
weekend.
don't know if you guys heard, but a little birdie told me
Tweet.
that we might have 3 victories in 1 week. Not might, we do have 3 victories in the span of 6 days. And I put this tweet out earlier, probably like a half hour ago, but we'll break it down. Don't worry. J-Mo! Kool Aid, get him on.
Victory buffs.
I don't give a fuck what you want to say about the ski mask. They're back. Jameson Williams, Scully Gang, J-Mo, they're back. We're arming up. And we're
Let's
stealing
rock.
the season.
We're not gonna let
We're
one
stealing
loss
the NFC.
take the ski mask from us. We're still the villains, man. Let's
J-Mo's
rock.
back.
Let's
J-Mo
go.
is back, baby. Hey. I don't think there's been, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, there has never been a better 6-day span to be a part of as a Detroit Lions fan. You got Sunday. Desmond Ridder, his mid-ass, if you want to even call him mid. Desmond Ridder came into town. Took an ass whooping. Then you go 4 days later, last night, very ironically.
Tell them. Preach it.
You go and the magnificent Jordan Love, that magnificent LaFleur, and you shut them down in Lambeau Field. You get the dub. And you followed up the cherry on top for this week. Jameson Williams. He's back.
Chef's kiss.
Jameson Williams is back. The NFL is making officially, via Matt Broder, by the way, boots on the ground, our Lions beat reporter, boots on the ground. The NFL is making changes to the gambling policies, and with these changes, wide receiver Jameson Williams will be reinstated to the NFL ASAP. Immediately. They want that man back. They want him back, Kool Aid.
Scary hours, man. I can't wait to see this man out on the field. I was talking about it earlier with Braylon Edwards and his ability to just take top off of a defense, man. Like, they can't just stack in the box against Gibbs. I know a lot of people have been talking about what's the matter with Gibbs in the passing game. Bro, when you got a guy like Jameson Williams and that safety has to think about his speed, and we saw, man, the last time he was out there on the field, we saw Goff can get him the ball down the field. I can't wait.
Not only Jahmyr Gibbs, but that other rookie. You talk about a safety. When you're a safety in the NFL, you have to worry about the line of scrimmage, so you got to stop the run. So you got to worry about rookie Sam Laporta too. Then following him, now you have Jahmyr Gibbs behind him. There's going to be potentially, and this is best case scenario, because obviously in the NFL, injuries, shit happens. You could have a 3-4-headed monster on this Lions offense, boys. JB, Chris, am I lying?
You are not lying. You ain't never told no lie.
Ball knower.
Ball knower does not lie.
JB.
This is gonna be nice. And on top of all this, like, J-Mo and the Lions both have 10 days before their next opponent, the Carolina Panthers. So they're gonna get themselves right, get J-Mo incorporated in the playbook. You know Ben Johnson has something dialed up for him. That first game back, I guarantee he is gonna get a touchdown. He's gonna be in the end zone.
What do you guys, in terms of, well, I mute this real quick. In terms of yardage, Jameson Williams, I think we all agree he has the talent to be able to be a 1,000-yard wide receiver. But just with the amount of time and the other weapons around him right now, what do you guys expect of him? Because he is coming back earlier now. So what are your stat line predictions for him? Not saying like good or bad. Like, this is just genuinely what you realistically think will happen.
Man, I think with the flow and the rhythm that Jared Goff is in right now, I don't see J-Mo coming in right away and putting up gaudy stats. But I do believe he's going to have an overall impact on the game to the point that other people will actually see that bigger benefit, man. I really do. Now, if we had to put something on there, I can see him going out there and getting like a 3-4 receptions, 50 yards, something kind of pedestrian, but being active all over the field. But, Lukas, you're the ball knower, bro.
I am. This is true. This is true. This is true. Listen, I think Jameson Williams, when he comes back, especially early on, I think he's definitely going to be, to Kool Aid's point, more of a presence. Because just the impact and the speed that he could potentially have on this offense, to the big playability you saw against Minnesota. You even saw it against Green Bay on the plays that didn't count. And in New York, when DJ Reed, great corner, made a great play on the ball, but he was open and slightly underthrown. He's a great game breaker, and you can look at this Lions offense. That's the one obvious thing that they're missing. They need a vertical threat. Everybody wants Mike Evans from Tampa Bay right now on the Lions, and why? It's because he's a vertical threat. And they might not be the same style, but they're doing the same thing with Jameson Williams' speed, Mike Evans' strength and ability to high point the ball. So you're getting that back. But as you go on through the season, I think you will start to see the production pick up. Yeah. Because now people are not going to just be able to game plan for Amon-Ra St. Brown every week. Now they're going to have to stack. They're going to have to bring a safety down against this offensive line and this running attack. There's no way you can't account for David Montgomery after you just saw what he did against the Green Bay Packers. A hat trick, by the way. Shout out Demo. First win in Lambeau. First win against the Packers organization. I love what this Jameson Williams return early is doing, especially because now Lions have momentum. They can really start going on a run without J-Mo. The fact that they have J-Mo now, they can really start to go on a run.
But you know why? I'm going to say this, man. This is the declaration. People, Detroit, your Detroit Lions are a real NFL football team. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Like, look, we've had seasons that have teased us. And I saw other people saying, well, we've started 3-1 before. Why are you guys so gung-ho about the Lions right now? Let's just wait and see this thing out. It's because of everything that they're doing from the top down, man. Queen Sheila was in attendance last night.
Shout out.
Dan
Beautiful
Campbell,
woman.
Obviously, he's going to be
woman.
on the sidelines, but he was pumped. He was in it. And I believe he is the coach to lead us to the promised land. But Brad Holmes was there. That means that everybody who matters to Detroit Lions football from the decision-making, they're there focusing on Detroit Lions football, not cars, not hospitals. Hey, listen, that's awesome, but you got people that run that stuff, man. I'm just saying, like, they're there. This matters. I don't want to see the owner in the box and we're just like sell the team because it's not your interest. Now we're looking at this squad from a completely different perspective, and if it matters to the owners, if it matters to the GM, and the head coach is going out there and making sure that this team is taking no plays off, man, I'm excited.
They're not only the coach, but the players. You can see, and that's why we'll get into it more when we talk about the defense. But when you bring back a guy like Isaiah Buggs, now the players are playing to that standard as well, because they know, especially a guy like Isaiah Buggs, who's a healthy scratch, and we're all wondering why. We're all scratching our head over the fact of that. But the players are going to hold themselves to that standard too, and I think that's where the culture really connects, because you have the organization that wants to do it, and the players, when they want to do it, that's when everything starts taking off. But JB, Chris, what do you think with J-Mo coming back, does this change your mindset on the line as far as being like contenders?
It does. I will say no, because I always envisioned that J-Mo was playing at some point in the season, and that he was going to get, while not the entire season, he was going to get the bulk of the season to get acclimated. So this doesn't really change too much for me. It gets me very excited right now, and I'm in agreement with you. It's more of just a weapon, a threat, a part of the team rather than the key of the team or the center of the team, at least in the start. But it doesn't change my opinion on whether they're contenders or not, because, I mean, we didn't think J-Mo was out the whole year. We knew he was out 6 games, now 5. So we're excited. We're ready to rock.
JB?
I'm not gonna lie, when I started off thinking about this, it was just like, all right, Goff has Amon-Ra, he has the weapons of Gibbs and Monty back there as well. Can't forget about Sam Laporta either. So I was kind of doubting it just a little bit, but now that J-Mo's back early and with time to like get reacclimated with the team, why not us? Why not the Detroit Lions? Why not us to go to the Super Bowl? So fuck it. We're contenders.
That's what we like to do.
We're contenders, damn it. We're contenders.
No, but I think the whole thing around it is just, it feels so real. It feels real because
you're a real football team.
To the point, and they just had a real legitimate win. They didn't win this game off a blown call. If anything, the Lions still had the refs going against them last night, and they persevered through it. the Lions organization is real. But we're gonna go to break real quick. But first, Kool Aid. Can you tell us about Big Boy?
That is actually me.
Oh,
that is
Mr. Chrissy P.
Chrissy P in the building. Let me tell you about Big Boy, because we saw some big boys yesterday, and they go to Big Boy for burgers and chicken sandwiches that are taking over Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger on our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger bun. Craving chicken? Try the Dolly chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potatoes. And save room for dessert, because we have a treat for you. Indulge in our Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, or satisfy your sweet tooth with our funnel cake fries. It's Big Boy.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. Got on the victory buffs. You got on the ski mask. Why? Because One Pride. Listen, this is the one bone I gotta pick with One Pride, man. When CJGJ said we are the villains, when he said get your ski mask out because this is our identity,
Got scared for a little bit, didn't we?
we allowed one overtime loss to a good team to shake us, bro. Lucas, that's why I'm glad you got your mask out here today.
It's time.
It's time for One Pride to stand back up. Like, I know that for a long time, man, we haven't been able to really trust what the Lions have put out there on the field. Even in wins, we've seen them go, 6-1 and then miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is a year to don't be scared. Don't be scared. Believe. What is it, Stoke not scared?
Stoke not scared.
Believe, man. Bring back out the ski mask. We are
Stoke
the villains,
not
man.
scared.
Let's
Stoke
write
not
our
scared.
own narrative.
Stoke not
We finally
scared.
have the
Stoke
opportunity
not
to
scared.
do that. How long have we been waiting for this? How
My
long
whole
have we been
fucking
waiting?
lifetime, Kool Aid.
Like, that's what my whole life.
Yeah,
this
double
isn't like
mine
the
too
Pistons.
for other fans.
Bro, this is not like the Pistons where it's like, all right, I got to see the going to work Pistons. And they've had some wins. Terry got to see the bad boys. And we're just kind of waiting for
It's
that
not
cycle
that.
to come back.
It's not.
This is a situation where for your life, my lifetime, my dad's lifetime, my granddaddy's lifetime, man, bro, my granddad used to sweep streets, bro. They were losing then too. They were losing then. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. This is
Not
different,
one.
man. This is different. Believe in this team. Don't back down off anything, y'all. We are Detroit. The Lions are here to stay, man. And One Pride, I do want to commend. I don't know. Can you pull up that graphic? RG3 has some
Yes,
good things
sir.
to say about us because we did. We shook it off. We shook it off. Look at that, man.
Look
I'm
at
proud
that.
of One Pride, man. They traveled well to Ford Field North. I think they-
47% of Lambeau crowd was
What?
Detroit Lions fans.
Say that one more time, bro.
47%. 47.
Give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand.
That's Ford Field North right there. That's North Ford Field. The Detroit Lions went in there, and they said, this is our fucking house. This is ours. They set the tone. They let Jordan Love know. Yeah, cool. You beat the Bears. Every other team in the NFL is going to. You snuck out a victory against the Saints where if a rookie kicker makes a field goal, you're 1-2 and your only wins against the fucking Bears. The Lions just claimed the North. That's what they did, and they did it in style. They did it in style and utter domination. I loved what I saw, especially from the fans. And I know our boy from the morning show, JD, was there. He's got some interesting videos for us. I know Teddy Bridgewater actually gave him his gloves. But there is one thing that I think is carrying this whole wave. Ever since, and Chris, if you want to pull up the graphic, Spenny and Easy, they went to the game.
Yeah.
Spenny hugged Malcolm. Jerry said what up to Easy. The Lions have been undefeated. Undefeated since this moment. All of the credit goes to the men whose seats we are sitting in right now.
Shout out to Easy. Shout out to Spence, man. Look at that, man. Jerry Jacobs. He had like the game of his life, man. 2 interceptions. I know that he was a little bit disappointed. He wanted to be able to get that pick 6. I know he was looking at it and breaking down the play a little bit later, and as soon as he saw it, he was excited. Like, you know what? He was giving props and credit to everybody else on the squad. You know, Anzalone tipped it. You know, the defense was playing lights out, the defensive line, and then he in that clip was just like criticizing himself, like I should have got the pick 6.
And I think that's just the guy that Jerry is, especially because Jerry hears all the noise. Jerry heard everything after the Seattle game.
Yep.
And I said it time and time again. Don't get too hard on Jerry Jacobs' pause because it was just he was set up for failure with the coaching. You couldn't expect him to go up there and man up DK Metcalf 8 yards off the line of scrimmage the whole game. He bounced back slightly. He didn't have a lockdown game against the Falcons, but everybody going into this week acted like he was the weak limb and he was a liability when time and time again from seasons prior, he showed you that he's actually a pretty strong player. So for him to go out there like this, 2 interceptions against a quarterback who everybody was raving about being the next Brett Favre, the next Aaron Rodgers. This is Jordan Love.
Bro, they really tried to play that narrative up, too, with all that Aaron Rodgers talking about passing the baton and all of that. Oh, you know, keep the ownership and all of that stuff. Nah, we're not here for anybody's narrative. We're not here to be anybody's headline except for our own, bro. And that's what I love about it. When I saw Dan Campbell's video talking to the guys in the locker room, I know we'll play that later. When he said we're 3-1, you know, we won our quarter. Let's start the next quarter strong. I could sense that those boys know that they're supposed to be 4-0. That's different. Don't settle. Don't be just cool with 3-1. You take it. You know what I mean? You learn from it. You get better. But what I see from this squad right now is a team that is serious. David Montgomery, too, man, in his post-game report said that this is the best team he's been on, the best group of guys he's been around, and he's excited to be here. Mm-hmm. These are players who have played for seemingly good franchises coming to this Detroit Lions organization and saying great things about it, man. That should make every Detroit Lions fan feel good about themselves, seriously, and about where this season is headed. They believe. Good players are believing. You know what I mean? And Jared Goff, he doesn't seem fazed at all by these interceptions, man.
No, he doesn't. And I wish we could pull the video up. But did you guys see what his whole deal with Ryan Fitzpatrick? Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Talk about it, man.
What did he call him? What did he call Goff?
He called him a poor man's Matt Ryan, bro. Goff looked at him and he started kind of smirking, bro, and he was just like talking about it. You know, hey, you know, I had a good game, blah, 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 blah. And he looked over at Fitz like, but I'm nobody's poor man anything, bro. And then the smile just dropped. And it was just like, ooh.
I think, and I want to get Chris and JB's opinion on this. I think Jared Goff, we're kind of seeing like his arch character coming out. Like he's evolving into something. Like Jared Goff. I think he's adopting this villain mentality.
The hero has become the villain, pretty much.
I mean, look, it was a nice start, but it's still a little soft. Like I'm a fan of rap. Like I know rap beef. Like you gotta take a picture with their baby moms. You gotta get wild.
Yeah, dude, well, you expect Jared Goff to go out there and take a picture with somebody's baby mama?
Listen,
do you see what he's got back at the crib? Do you see what he's got back at the crib?
I know, but I'm just saying, man, like, all you gotta say is I'm a poor man's nobody. Man, listen, you gotta say something like back to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, you gotta talk that talk for real.
Yeah,
like,
because honestly, what the fuck was Ryan Fitzpatrick in his career?
Exactly. And that's my thing,
Lucas.
is he's nice. Like, Goff is nice, he's professional, he's taking the high class, you know, the high road, all that stuff. That's cute, but like, Nah, man, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. If you don't hit him with a who is that guy, like I don't understand.
Well, no, everybody knows who Ryan Fitzpatrick is because he's been on everybody's favorite team besides the Detroit Lions. The man has played on like 30 NFL teams. You are known for being an NFL journeyman.
And name 3 things he's done besides play for every team. He hasn't done anything. Like if I'm Goff, I'm talking that talk. Like I'm talking spicy to him.
Fitz magic, walking around with a chain and chest hair. You look like a dork, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Bro,
how is he? Your point. How is he a trusted voice in football right now? How is he getting all these projects? Richard Sherman, I love. I don't care if he's got that little CT.
Cool.
He can tweak sometimes, but I love watching him.
He's cool.
The man graduated from Stanford. You know how intelligent you have to be? I know Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard, but now when you got to talk about football, let's talk about football, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Let's talk about what you've done compared to Jared Goff. I'll take Jared Goff's resume 10 times out of 10.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I see people in the comments saying like, who was the AC said Goff should have said, "Bro, who are you?" Like when you
That's what I'm saying.
But when you see the interview, you know that Goff is going to take some aspect of the high road. And you know what? How many other quarterbacks are really going to get on that and say anything?
No.
We hear that these people say this stuff all the time from the analyst seat. And then the quarterbacks and these other players get on the post game and they just talk all nice. Goff actually stared him down and called him out. So I'm nobody's poor man anything. And he just looked at him. And then the whole cast and crew was just like, oh, he heard that. Yeah, he heard that. And he's calling you out. So it's like, you know what? As it relates to the things that I know a lot of people thought about Goff when he first got here, how many people thought he would actually sit on a stage and call him out? What are you talking about?
And have a hill to stand on with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like if this would have happened with Jared Goff in 2021, then I think people would have been like, no, Fitzpatrick is right. And I want to ask you guys this too. Did you guys see this actually happening with Jared Goff, actually performing this well? Like, I feel like this is the ceiling. Like, when the trade originally happened, like, this was like the ceiling of expectations, and he has met that.
Yeah, I didn't see the ceiling right away, but I saw that early on that this could be the ceiling, which is him performing very well and being a playoff caliber team, and we'll see where it goes from there. To me, the ceiling will potentially be raised in the playoffs. Like that's where we're at with Jared Goff. He's definitely grown. He's evolved. He's gotten much better as a quarterback. I don't think there's any debate that he's better than the version he was when he was on the Super Bowl team in the Rams. He is a better player. It's just about now is the system around him good enough to get him there. But at the end of the day, this has always been Goff's ceiling, and I thought that it was always a very reachable ceiling when you have the ability of Brad Holmes to surround you with talent, and then you have the Ben Johnson to cook up and scheme up. So I won't say that ceiling was always there, but it became pretty clear last year that this is what he could do.
JB?
I have to agree with Chris on that. Like, I believe during the regular season, he's pretty much exceeded our expectation for the most part, but the true challenge comes in the postseason during these playoff games when we get there. Will he still be able to have that same amount of confidence that he has in the past 4 games that we've seen, to sit there and stand in the pocket, absorb those hits, and still get the ball out there to Amon-Ra, to J-Mo, to Monty, to Gibbs? Can he still do that? I think that's the true test right there. But so far, like, he's passed the eye test for the regular season for me. So hats off to the man.
Hey, hats off to them. You know who else we got to give our hats off to?
Talk about it, brother.
Booner and Broder on the Woodward Night Show. Woodward Sports has expanded its daily lineup. Booner and Broder pair for Woodward Nights from 8 to 10, 2 of Detroit's up-and-coming sports personalities. They are combining for the hottest takes and best entertainment. Join them Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 p.m. right after this. Booner and Broder, catch them on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. But we just talked about Goff and how he stepped up the plate. I want to ask you guys this question before we head in a break. And we won't spend too much time on it just because I don't think there's really too much to nitpick about it. That interception that he threw at the beginning of the game, did that concern you guys at all? Because before, at least for me, and you guys can speak differently, if anybody's holding that interception against him, I think it's idiotic. I think you can get upset with the play, but he bounced back. That's my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys have to say because you responded. Does that interception concern you?
I think you said the key word there, man, bounce back. You know, when we saw the interception go, I didn't see him hang his head or pout or anything like that as if, oh, man, I just did a boo-boo. I actually saw him kind of get mad and angry, and the next time that he stepped up to the plate, it was just darts, man. We sat here in the watch party and we kept saying, like, bro, he's throwing dimes. Like some of those
throw to
passes.
Reynolds was the next drive, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was as if it spurred him on, man. As if it like woke him and the whole team up. They came out with a completely different drive, and from that standpoint, the offense did not look back in the first half at all. At all. And that's what I want to see. You know, some of these other players in years past, man, if they make a mistake, it kind of snowballs. But, JB, man, what do you think about it?
No, I agree with you completely, because once he threw that interception, he came to the sideline and he looked upset at himself. He knew that was a mistake and that was on him. And as you guys just stated, he came out that next drive, got the blown that deep pass to Josh Reynolds. The next thing you know, Amon-Ra for that touchdown. I think he used that interception as fuel for the next drive, and I think he'll do that in the next game as well, given the comments that Ryan Fitzpatrick just said. As MJ said, I took that serious, and so will
I
Jared
think
Goff.
Jared Goff at home secretly has a
Bars,
board,
JB.
and he just added Ryan. Easy was up there on a shrine on the hate board. He's like, okay, right next to Easy's going Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think he's just fueled for all the Bears fans, Adam Rank, Rob Parker. Oh my! But
Rob
Chris,
Parker catches straight.
did that interception change anything for you? Did that concern you at all?
No, because if anything, you got to admire Goff's consistency. You know, he set the record for without interceptions. Now he's going for the record with interceptions. It's 3 games in a row since. You got to admire the consistency.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
I'm just messing around.
But does the fact that he's thrown an interception in 3 games, does that concern you?
No, because the thing has always been with Goff, it's been that he's been labeled kind of the game manager quarterback, right, and not the quarterback that will win in adversity. And throwing interceptions, those are adverse plays. You're putting your team in an adverse situation, and he's overcoming them. So if anything, it's actually kind of improving my perception of Jared Goff. Now, I'm not saying I want him to throw an interception every week, but I'm saying that he's bouncing back, and like Kool Aid said, the good point of, you know, a lot of quarterbacks will hang their head when they get that interception. Few will bounce back and have a strong drive. And again, I think that throw to Josh Reynolds was the very next drive, which was probably his best throw of the night.
Yeah, and shout out to Josh for snagging it.
Yeah.
That was a dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Lucas's reaction had me cracking up, bro. Like, bro, this team is making amazing plays. Like, and they're getting contributions from people that we didn't think would come out and have major contributions. Like, do we believe that Khalif Raymond? You know, do we believe that Josh Reynolds? I know you believe that Sam Lagoda was going to be doing what he was doing, but to this magnitude,
JB too.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, all of these people are actually stepping their games up. And as it relates to Jared Goff and the interception thing, it's getting to the point now that we're 4 games into the season. If he throws an interception early in the next game, is anybody in here going to be worried about how the rest of the game is going to go?
Not against the Carolina Panthers.
I'm not worried either. I believe in Goff.
Andy Dalton.
What is he at? He's
Bryce
hovering
Young.
at what? 98.4 passer rating right now, man. With the 3 interceptions on the season.
He's been efficient.
He's balling.
He's been efficient.
He's been efficient, that's for sure.
And let me tell you about an efficient place to get your haircut, and that is Lady Jane's.
Take
Come
it
to
from
Lady
the man
Jane's.
himself.
Haircuts for men. I know. Get your Abe Lincoln beard trimmed up a little bit.
It's Amish. It's Amish pubes.
No, that's wild. That's wild. Listen, come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams, all expenses paid, suite to the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best friends. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays to join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf, downtown's newest sports bar. Has 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Ayo, that sounds good, man. Mention promo code Woodward at checkout for 50% off your first visit, and visit 5irongolf.com to tee up good times. Whether you're a serious golfer like D-Mac or are there for a good time like Flannel Sam, 5 Iron is the spot for you. This is at 5irongolf.com to tee up good times.
Welcome back, Woodward. We are Victory Friday.
Got the victory
JMO
votes.
Return Friday. Ski Mask back down officially Friday. Because you know what? We're not scared anymore. We're still the villains. And we just kind of touched on Jared Goff. He's kind of adopted that villain mentality, we kind of feel like. He's kind of taking that next step into being a true leader for this team, throwing interception in multiple games in a row, but in all of them bouncing back and coming out with successful W's.
Awesome,
Except for the
bro.
Seahawks one. I'll take that one back, though. Not the Seahawks one, but last 2 games coming out with W's.
W's, man. And look, it's a Victory Friday, man. I'm feeling ecstatic. And it's also Calvin Johnson's birthday, man.
The GOAT.
The GOAT,
There's so many good things happening right now for Detroit Lions football.
Happy birthday, Megatron, Calvin Johnson, man. He's done a lot for the network. He supports, he watches, man. Hey, I hope you have just the best day, man. I hope that, you know what? And if the Lions actually do go on a run, I hope that there's some way that people like him and Barry can get there doing their love, bro.
Yeah, Calvin better get a statue.
He
better. You know, they probably asked him, they're like, Calvin, for your birthday, you want a statue? He's probably like, no. Give me J-Mo back early. Let's get J-Mo.
That's what he asked for?
Calvin, I think, he was in the ear of Sheila. She was like, you better talk to Goodell.
Bro, that's pretty awesome, though. On his birthday, we get J-Mo back.
Hey.
Yo, that's it. Calvin is still making big plays for the Detroit Lions, yo. I love it. I love it. Calvin, again, man, enjoy your day, brother. Thanks for everything that you do to support us. I know at the Celebrity Golf Classic, man, Calvin was just supportive, man, of the network, and he believes in these Detroit Lions too.
Yeah, I remember Kelvin. I didn't get to meet him when he was walking through, and we were kind of packing up to leave, and I was getting a water, and he was walking. It was like him and his boy were walking, and Kelvin was like my favorite player ever growing up. He was the reason I started playing wide receiver. Him and Adam Thielen, but we don't have to bring that up. But Kelvin was genuinely my role model, and I was like sweating. I was nervous as fuck. He was walking. I was just like, Kelvin! And I was like, oh shit, what did I just say? And he turned around. Bro, the most humble individual that you could possibly meet. Kelvin's just a solid-ass dude, so shout out him. Shout out for all the memories. I wish he was playing right now on this roster. God, could you imagine that? But shout out him. But you know what Kelvin did? He set a tone. When you were lined up man-to-man with Calvin Johnson, ask Patrick Peterson as a rookie. He worked him, and Patrick Peterson's arguably going to be a Hall of Fame cornerback. But Kelvin set a tone, and so did the Detroit Lions last night. What players, I want offense and defensive, and I'll go last. Who do you think set the tone on offense for the Lions, and who do you think set the tone on defense for the Lions? Besides, and we're gonna take out Hutch on the defensive side, because that's just the gimme.
Yeah. Well, and Jerry Jacobs too.
I think you could leave Jerry up there.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start there, Chris.
Yeah. I mean, defensively, it's got to be Jerry Jacobs. I don't know if you'd say he set the tone, but he had the greatest impact. He was the MVP of the defense last night with 2 interceptions. Arguable Hutch as well, but those are the 2 guys on the defensive side of the ball that maybe not set the tone, but made the impact that you needed to win. Probably Cam Sutton was a guy who really set the tone to me as well. That's somebody
You're not
I'd
wrong
like to
there.
mention because I feel like he's just a guy that's flying completely under the radar in a lot of aspects for the Lions.
Yeah, he's been quiet. But when your cornerback one is quiet, that's a
Exactly.
good sign. The only play, I can remember 2 plays, and one of them wasn't even a catch. It was a PI, but it's kind of like it wasn't like he absolutely ripped the guy from while the ball was in the air. And then obviously the catch against Drake London, but that's all you heard from Drake London after that. You also heard Brian Branch breaking the ball up one-on-one in coverage against Drake London.
Yeah.
So Cam Sutton quietly has been an unsung hero of this defense. I'm happy that you said that.
Absolutely. And the offense side of the ball to me is also obvious is Monty. Like
Monty.
dude just came back in an absolute beast, and he's quickly become my favorite Lions player because the dude is just an absolute powerhouse running the ball. Like he just breaks his way through every tackle. He's a beast, man.
Is he going to break the record? Is he going to break Jamal's record? How many? Can you guys remember at this point of the season how many Jamal had?
I don't remember offhand, but I will say he has a chance. I mean, it's a record, so it's obviously not easy to break, but all the tools are there. You have a great offensive line that has even more depth now than it did last year. And on top of that, I think Montgomery's a better runner than Jamal. So it's all going to end up being situational, and we'll see how many times they end up handing it off to Monty versus doing a little play action or they just don't even get in the red zone because J-Mo goes for 40 yards and a touchdown. Like there's a lot more possibilities. Sam Laporta, the tight end, gives them a great red zone threat as well. So for me, I'll say it's definitely possible. And I don't know if I'll say probable, but I think he's going to be very close, if not. I mean, I am expecting at least 13, 14 touchdowns.
Okay.
So.
Can you put a poll up in the chat? Because I'm interested to hear what the people have to say. But JB, we're swinging the rock to you now.
What's
Most
up?
impactful offensive player and defensive player for the Lions last night. Not named Hutch on the defensive side.
Yeah. First and foremost, you got to give your flowers to this whole defensive line right here for the Lions. Because let's just face it, 5 sacks that night. 5 sacks. You had 6 before. Like you were close on like just matching that the game before.
Yeah.
But still, I got to go with the B2 bomber himself, Brian Branch. My guy. He didn't get an interception, even though he was trying to. He reached that big paw out there to try to smack that one down, but he just couldn't grab it. But you could see he was upset with himself. But come on, 5 solo tackles, 7 altogether. He left the game. He came back. I will admit he shouldn't have been in the game that last quarter when we were up big. You know, like you don't want to further injure him anymore. But still, hats off to him on the defensive side. Offensively, I got to go with Chris's answer as well. It's got to be Monty. Like, come on. The man came back from injury, went in there and told Ben Johnson, hey, give me the rock. I want to show out here in Lambeau. And he did. Hat trick.
Yeah. Were you guys... Okay, I want to get your guys' opinion before we go to me and Kool Aid on this. Were you guys, like, sweating balls when Brian Branch went down?
I was nervous. I was nervous.
Because it looked non-contact at first. It looked like it was just going to be like straight Achilles.
Those-
Like
those
that's
are
a
always
boom.
All of us were like, oh my gosh. And we were like, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Man, when we saw him standing up on the sideline, though, and then sitting back down to kind of get retaped, it was like, yo.
It was like
what
cue
type
the
of
Undertaker
football gods
music.
are on the Detroit Lions side for once, man?
You know what he remembered? He was like, I was sitting in that draft room day 2. Green Bay had that pick. They could have taken me, but no. Brad Holmes swooped. That was running through his mind. I guarantee it. The fact that the Packers needed a safety and they didn't take him, the Lions came up and they got him. I guarantee that was going through his mind. He reminds me, and I don't think it's too early. He reminds me of, like, I know it's a weird comparison, but the Amon-Ra St. Brown of this defense. Just the gritty guy that's going to do everything that you ask of him consistently, and just a football head, just a dog, like a dog. He's not the most talented player. He is extremely talented, just like Amon-Ra St. Brown is extremely talented. Couldn't talk there for a second. But there's more talented player at both positions, but their production is damn near more than the talented players. So I think that, but I want to get your guys' opinion on that. Can you see like the Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Branch comparison as far as impact on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, look, Brian Branch has clearly established himself as essential to this defense. Not just a very good player, not just an important player, essential to this defense for everything that he provides this team, both in coverage and the ability to make plays, and on top of that, just I believe in his ability to pressure the quarterback as well. Like he's just doing everything that you need in the secondary to do and more. And so he is a backbone of this defense. So him potentially being injured like that did worry me, especially like you said, it's not contact that always worries you. But seeing him up, seeing him good, that was a just woosah, just relax, we're good.
Woosah. Namaste, as Flannel would say. But JB, what was going through your mind when Branch went down, and then kind of two-part? Do you think he's almost like the Amon-Ra St. Brown of this defense right now?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I was nervous as all hell. I'm like, no, we cannot lose this guy. This guy is starting to build momentum, and the whole league is starting to take notice. But yes, definitely, I can see him being the Amon-Ra of the defense. He was the only player to sit there in the draft room day 2 and was like, no, I want to hear my name called so I can walk across that stage. I guarantee you, he has a list of all the players taken ahead of him, all the teams that passed him up, and he is coming out for revenge on this season, and he wants it to be known. So yeah, he is definitely the Amon-Ra of the defense.
Man,
I like that.
How sick do you think the Packers were? Just how they, not only did they pass up on Brian Branch, but they let him stay in the division, and seeing him ball out like this, because I'm pretty sure he led the team in tackles still, didn't he? Even though he was hurt, I believe he led the team in total tackles still.
Yes, he did.
So, and not to mention he was out, and the last tackle he had, it scared the shit out of me because he was like backpedaling. I don't remember who the receiver was, caught in front of him, and you could tell like he made the tackle, but he was in some pain. He's got 10 days of rest up though, so that's a good sign.
And the X-rays were negative, I believe.
Negative, and you got Kirby coming back, so you can, even if Brian Branch needs to sit out against Carolina, if Brian Branch needs to sit out against Carolina Panthers, and Kirby's able to go, you sit out Brian Branch. I love watching him, but yeah, next man up. And how great is it that it's Kirby Joseph?
That would be really great. That would be really great, man. It was awesome to be able to have Tracy Walker come back, and not just come back and get a feel for the game, but come back and actually make an impact, man, make a difference in place of CJ. I said this to Braylon, man. Tracy Walker is separating people's bodies from their souls.
Did you see that fucking hit he had on Christian Watson?
Yes.
On that interception. Anzalone tipped it, and then you can see it flies over Christian Watson, and Jerry Jacobs behind it, but
just boom, and then walks over him. Just kind of struts right over top of him, bro.
Christian Watson first get pow! Stood over him.
Right in the kisser.
He reminded him what Tracy Walker was all about. That GJ, the energy Tracy might not carry, but just that. Tracy Walker's just a fucking dog, man. He's not scared of. He does. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't. He just goes in there and he hits whatever. He hits the motherfucker in front of his face. But we got to go to break. Got to hear about. What do we got to hear about?
We got to hear about Fairway Meat Packing Kool Aid.
Fairway Meat Packing. Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild. That is wild.
Let's talk about it then. For over 60 years, Fairway Meat Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Get your meat.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Now, how would you like a $100,000 cash Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. Again, it's Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste for the people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best version of themselves. Go to drinkcintron.com/Vegas for more information and registration. Wow, wait.
One pride, let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights.
Victory Friday.
They call me Detroit Kool Aid. Down there is the ball knower, Lukas Klotz. We got Chris Platte in the TD booth, and we got the man, the myth, the legend, JB Smooth on sounds. Shout out to Easy and Spence, man. Love you, boys. It's a Victory Friday, guys.
It is. Make sure you guys, if you're enjoying the stream, like the stream while you're at it. Yeah. Share the positive energy. Get the One Pride radiance throughout the airways. J-Mo's back. There's a lot of good vibes. Just pass it through the like button. Make sure you share the stream.
I like that, man.
Share it with your friends. Share it to your mother, your grandmother, your sister.
There's 700 people in this stream, and we got 97 likes. Come on, y'all. Let's get it rocking.
They'll get it there. They'll get it there.
They'll get it there. But Lucas, you were talking to us, man, about the tone setters, man. The tone set. I want to call it really the table setters as well, man. I want to know who your offensive and your defensive MVPs or tone setters are so far.
Well, we said we couldn't do Hutch, so I'm going to take Hutch out of the equation. But I've been preaching about this man needing to step up, and he still has. Alex Anzalone. Alex Anzalone, these last few games, has showed you exactly why Detroit has trusted him to be that Mike linebacker, be the captain of this defense, wear that green dot. He's been flying around the field. Look at this. 5+ tackles for 21 straight games. Now, the thing was, Alex Anzalone...
Longest streak since 2000 for a Lion.
Exactly. He's been one of the most consistent players for the Detroit Lions over the last couple years at putting himself in a position to make the play. The thing was, Alex Anzalone had a lot of missed tackles. He would put himself in position, but then he would miss the tackles. This year, he's making open field tackles, solo tackles. You saw it last night. He made a play in the passing game. He deflected the pass. Jerry Jacobs picked it off. And he just flies around the field, man. You could tell the way that he runs around the field that he's just another dog. Like, again, and shout out to Kelvin Shepard, too, by the way. Kelvin Shepard, I believe, Anzalone's a great player, but you have to give an extreme amount of credit to how Anzalone's playing to Kelvin Shepard, to how Derek Barnes is playing to Kelvin Shepard, to how Rodriguez played last year and even this year, especially just even on special team, to Kelvin Shepard. The fact that they're able to put Jack Campbell, who was an on-ball linebacker, and move him to the edge, that you got to give credit to Kelvin Shepard. Kelvin Shepard is going to be a defensive coordinator in this league one day.
Yeah.
I think possibly if Aaron Glenn ever leaves, I think he would be the next man up in the rotation. But right now, Kelvin Shepard, Alex Anzalone, that whole linebacking room, hats off to you. You guys have been balling out. That have been, outside of this D-line, we know that they have Hutch on the D-line. But there comes a second level of this. I mean, they held Aaron Jones to, I believe, 20, not even, I think he had 18 rushing yards. A.J. Dillon had like 12. Jordan Love had -2. They have been shutting down running backs consistently. And not only is that the fault of the D-line, that's the fault of the linebacker. And I mean fault in a good way. But I got to go with Alex Anzalone on the defensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball.
Hold on, before you get there. Because on the defense, listen, man, we've seen these teams these Lions teams of past have great defensive lines. And they were failed by their linebackers. You know, I know coming into the season, we weren't so sure on how strong they were or weren't going to be, if one injury was going to make the linebacker core something where we had to go and look for someone else. There were people who were like, I don't want this player out there, I don't want this player out there. Alex Anzalone was somebody that catches, to me, some unnecessary strays. But to see these guys go out there this year, all of the linebackers, I believe that they're playing above their expectation right now, man. And I just wanted to be able to talk about what Dan Campbell was saying about Alex Anzalone. He said he's playing at a high level. He's a quarterback of our defense. He's versatile. He's a really good athlete. He's smart, and he knows exactly what Aaron Glenn is looking for. He knows the situation that comes up. He gets everything in order. He's another guy who is big in our locker room. Like, it said that the guys love him. He's everything that you would need. Like, when you talk about a tone setter, that's a tone setter. The guys love him. They know he'd do anything for them. Hey, let's stop any unnecessary strays for Alex Anzalone.
Yeah, for the time being, I could understand it, and I kind of agreed with it to some turns coming into the season. But even the back end of last season, Alex Anzalone was balling out, and he's given me no reason to complain so far. He has looked like a versatile linebacker. He has made plays on the edge. You saw it against Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder tried doing a read option. He decided to keep it. Why the hell you'd ever do that, Desmond Ridder? I don't know why. But he was trying to get to the perimeter, and who was there to blow him up? And he blew him up to Aaron Glenn, who's been doing a hell of a job. I know Justin Station He's like, I'm not calling for because he was like, we don't need any coaching changes. I'm not saying we need to fire Aaron Glenn. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying Kelvin Shepard is a guy who's capable of being a defensive coordinator in this league. But he's been able to set the edge. He's been able to make plays and pass, and then he's been blowing up the run game the whole time. But Chris, JB, what do you guys think about Alex Anzalone, how he's been playing so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, you love it because at the end of the day, this linebacking core, going back exactly 1 year ago, was looked at and perceived as the weakest part of this defense. And now you can say that it's in some sense, along with the secondary, the complete backbone of this defense. And it's been again, it doesn't have the highest level of talent, but it's the deepest field in the Lions defense, and it's been performing very well. You talked about Malcolm, who performed well this year, is really only doing special teams. But that's a guy that is able to step up and be in games. Derek Barnes, remember, it did not look good for him at the start of training camp. No. And now he has completely turned things around, and he's been a very, very reliable source for the Lions. So this second round, or this linebacking core has been essential to the Lions defense. Kool Aid, how you feeling about that?
Radio. You guys ever seen the movie Radio?
Let's go.
Put me in, coach.
Hey, look, I don't know who it was. He called me out. He said, yo, who wears a jersey on the shoulder? So you know what? Let's just go all the way. I know that the pads are in here, too, somewhere. Yo, it's a Lions Victory Friday, man. This is the move today. Let's rock. I'm sorry, people. The jersey is now on. The jersey is on.
You just had to let the good atmosphere take it. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm
JB,
ecstatic, man.
Alex Anzalone, what are your thoughts on him so far this season?
I'm not going to lie. At the beginning of the season, I'm a little skeptical on Anzalone, but he's kind of changed my thought process of the whole guy. And this goes as well with Malcolm and Jack Campbell as well, too. I feel like they all kind of just feed and vibe off of each other. Like, no one is out there trying to be number one. They're all just trying to be out there to help this team. As Chris said, you got Rodriguez on the kickoff returns, protecting. So it's like, hey, he doesn't care where he is on the field, just as long as he gets that opportunity to be on the field to help out this team. So I gotta say, man, like, just to be in that locker room to feed and vibe off of this, like, it gets the whole defense pumped up to play.
All right, so that was my tone setter for defense. My tone setter on offense, Josh Reynolds. And I understand that he might not be. He doesn't slide in there as like the most athletic wide receiver. But Josh Reynolds, 12 catches on the season. You know how many of those went for first downs or touchdown? 12. Every time Josh Reynolds has caught the ball, it has been for a first down or a touchdown. Let that sink in, and know that that's the forgotten guy that keeps on killing people. He keeps on the guy that they keep letting sneak in between the zone coverage is Josh Reynolds. So that's for me. He's been that one-handed snag. That was huge momentum swing in the first half. Josh Reynolds has been balling out. He's been one of my favorite players to watch this season. I did not think it was going to happen. I thought what he was doing is what Marvin Jones would be doing, and I was proven wrong. Do I care? No, because either way, somebody stepped up and the production's there. So don't even care that I'm wrong on that. But those are my two tone setter: Alex Anzalone, Josh Reynolds.
Definitely, man. And you know what? The reason why I like that is that Dan Campbell made the promise that this team, whether it's injury or whether they just need somebody to step up, we got it. And a lot of times it can just sound like rhetoric, but this Lions team is proving them right. They're proving them right, man, from top to bottom. The coaches, the players, on both sides of the ball, they're finding production that I believe is far exceeding the expectation, man. But you know what? My tone setter on defense, man, I kind of want to start there. I'm going to go a little bit different. You talked about one of the guys I was going to talk about, and that's Kelvin Shepard and Aaron Glenn. I believe that Aaron Glenn, he catches some flack as well, too, because, hey, look, we're not all perfect.
Better be gone now.
It has to be. It has to be, man. Look, nobody's perfect. You know what I mean? There are ways that you can get better, and this team is getting better. I sense that there's no egos amongst this coaching staff.
Yep.
And I think that it allows them to get better. It allows them to be able to kind of take the advice. It allows Dan Campbell to know that these guys are going to work it out. And so the reason why we know about how good Kelvin Shepard is and what some of these other assistant coaches are doing down the line is because of how good they work with Aaron Glenn. And I absolutely love that. He's putting together like a game plan and putting his defense out there to succeed, man. And that's what I love. He's putting them in a good position. The plays that we see where there might be a mistake here or there, it's generally like, okay, like the pick play. It was just a blown coverage, and that's going to happen sometime. But overall, I've absolutely loved the defensive game plan. We sat here And there's years where we talk about what the Lions should be doing on defense. And the craziest thing is that we talk about armchair coaches, armchair GMs. But in years past, one Pride fans have been right about things.
Yeah.
This year, we're actually seeing our coaches be the ones that are right. Our coaches being the ones that are making the adjustments.
Proving us wrong.
Like, look, I love some of our previous coaches, man. I was a Caldwell fan. But I'm sorry, like, where were the adjustments?
Yep.
You know, even going way back to Schwartz, he had his defense amped up, but he could never make the adjustment to have these guys stop towing the line and going over the edge. And that hurt them. That hurt playoff aspirations in those teams.
Multiple times.
This squad, they're not over-penalized. When they had that drive last night with the penalties, we were like, what was that? Why? Because that's not their identity this year. This is a Detroit Lions team. When I said at the beginning of the team of this stream that they're a real football team, I think it starts and ends with what these coaches are doing with these players to put them in the right position. Because we've had talented people. We've had skilled people, man. We've had them. But now they're in a position to win. And I like that.
Definitely.
I like it.
We'll get back. When we come back, we'll get your offense one, then we'll kind of swing into the next topic. But first, got to hear about.
Yes, sir. We got to hear about SMA. We got to hear what the Packers fans need, and that is the sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com. And once again, that is thesportsma.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live next Sunday, October 8th for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market in Shed 5, and it's going to be a bash. Hey, look, I need to see you guys down there. Lucas and I are going to be boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. And we interact with everybody if you're trying to make it on the network. Let me see you guys down there, man. Support. It starts at 9:30 a.m. until game time. The official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with us, Woodward Sports, and be treated like a VIP? Food, beverages, and entertainment all included. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on IG, and direct message Lions VIP.
Dog, we are back. Not only is it a Victory Friday, but it's a free JMO Friday. JMO is back, everybody. We'll keep touching on that in and out of the show. I am Lukas Klotz. To my left is Detroit Kool Aid. No easier spending today. They're on the pup list. They're going to get their miles in at Planet Fitness right now.
I heard that they were part of the crew that helped free JMO. So
they were.
You know,
Kelvin talked to Sheila. Sheila talked to Goodell, but Kelvin's birthday wish was to free JMO.
Yep.
And then I don't think Goodell went with it. So I think Spenny and Easy, they took it in their own hands.
Shout out to Spenny and Easy, man. Hey, listen, man. Put some Spenny and Easy comments in the chats, man. Show them some love.
Smash the like for the boys.
Guys.
Yeah, smash the like for them so they can come back on Monday. A smooth show. Likes will be up like nothing ever happened. Make sure you like it for the fellas. But Kool Aid.
Yes, sir.
Before we left last segment, you didn't get to your offensive tone setter. So if you had to pick one, who would it be?
My offensive tone setter has to be Jared Goff.
Oh.
As the QB goes, as the team goes, he's somebody who.
That's how the saying goes.
That's how it is. Look, in terms of impact, if I had to say MVP, right now it's David Montgomery for me. But if you're talking about the tone setter, I believe that if Jared Goff if he got shook by that interception, I believe that the Lions were going to have a real tough time in Lambeau. I really do. And there's been other games as well where Jared Goff has kind of been that guy. And I think that the rest of the offense and the team is feeding off of him, man. I really do. So for me, it's Jared Goff. I've liked the way he's looked. The 3 interceptions, they don't faze me at all. 6 touchdowns, 98.6 passer rating, sitting over 1,000 yards on the season. Jared Goff, man, he's doing his thing. And he's, honestly, to me, he's exceeding expectation in terms of what I thought he would be. People say game manager, but instead I see him kind of pushing the edge and pushing the envelope just a little bit more, giving his playmakers the opportunity to make plays. And he's doing this while David Montgomery missed a game, right?
Taylor Decker missed a game.
Taylor Decker missed a game. They're not skipping a beat because he's a tone setter. He's a tone setter.
It.
Jared Goff, man. JG16, shout out to you. Shout out to Kristen Harper, too.
Yeah. That's why, whatever you said earlier when you were like, what'd you say?
Yeah, I just said, take a page out of Drake's book, and when you're beefing, take a picture with the baby mamas. That's always a power move. Now, I get it. He's got a trophy wife.
Christian
he's
Harper
happy.
amounts to like 10 baby mamas.
I agree, but I'm just saying, like, it don't have to be that. It's just an example of, just be calculated,
setting the tone,
and throw some spice. You know what I mean? Like, you're Jared Goff, and I can't believe I'm saying this as a person, but Jared Goff has earned the right to talk his shit.
He has.
And at this point, I think he can, especially when it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fucking bum.
That's what I'm saying.
Why are you over there dropping bars, Chris?
Ryan
Dropping bars, bro.
You know what would have been
Kool Aid knows about bars. I just found that out about a week ago. Kool Aid, why you hiding that from us? Kool Aid got a whole rap track that was fire.
Yeah, and there's a story behind that.
We're gonna talk about it one day.
Fuck Trey Songz for life. But JB, I saw you about to say something.
I was gonna just add to Chris's point right there. You know what would have been a diss is after the Lions beat KC in Burrowhead, Goff actually went over and took a picture with Brittany Mahomes.
Oh.
Wait, what?
I said that would have been a diss. Yeah. That would have been his diss track right there if he would have went over just took a picture with Brittany Mahomes.
That's the thing, as Tupac said, that was the whole. I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember, but when he did the Vibe cover magazine with Faith Evans, they kind of pulled him to the side and they're like, hey, why'd you take a picture with Faith? You're beefing with Big, like the headlines are gonna think that, and he's like, yeah. It don't matter tonight whether we sleep together or not. That picture put it out there. That picture that's just a subtle way of letting you know, hey, it can happen.
That picture exists. It's out there.
That's how the art of war works, as Tupac said. Love that.
Wow.
Jared Goff needs to take a page from that.
But you know what, man? We're able to talk about so much good on this Detroit Lions team, and it's because there's a lot of players out there that are doing a lot. And Lucas, I want this kind of Lucas looks thing. Who's been the X factor? Maybe not the tone setter, maybe not the MVP, but their contributions are why the Lions are in this position as well.
I don't even have to think about this for a second. It's Isaiah fucking Bugs. Ooh. Isaiah Bugs. Big Bugs is back.
Ooh.
Man, since he's coming, do you realize? I believe it was the Lions had 1 sack before Isaiah Bugs was implemented back in the lineup. They have 11 and a half, 12 sacks in 2 weeks. And there's been one denominator with that, one variable. Isaiah fucking Bugs. Not only that, he got his, I believe it was his first sack. I don't think he had one against Atlanta, did he? Bugs?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I know. He got a sack last night.
Impact, though.
But you know who he's impacting a lot? He's helping out Ali McNeil and Benito Jones.
Ooh.
I will go on the record. I slandered Benito Jones. I did. But he has been stepping up, and I think a big reason why has been Isaiah Bugs. I think Ali McNeil, the reason why he was willing to lose that fat and become Slim McNeil is because you got a big boy in Isaiah Bugs right next to you.
He went heavyweight
You got
to
thunder
lightweight.
and lightning right next to you. So the fact that Isaiah Bugs is back, I think that is why just this whole unit, especially just the energy that Isaiah Bugs carries.
When did Hutch get his first sack?
When Isaiah Bugs came back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what do you know?
All right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's almost like Isaiah Bugs was balling out last year, and so was this defense. And then when you take him out, the defense looks a little shaky. You bring him back, and then they look really good again. So let's do us a favor, as Lions fans. Let's all just pray, football gods, Louis Riddick, whoever that may be for you. It's Louis Riddick for me. that Isaiah Buggs stays on the field for the Lions for the rest of the season. I think we can all agree on that, no?
Yeah. I'm excited. That's a great one. I when we talked about this, I did not even think about Buggs as an answer. But then as soon as you said, it's like, you know what? This defense turned up when he got back, man. We were talking about the fact that Aiden Hutchinson needed help. It's not his job to go out there and get all the sacks. So, when you were talking about that with the crew last night, you were like, look, you guys can say that Aiden Hutchinson maybe needs to get a little bit better, but is he really supposed to go out there and get all 20 sacks on the season? No. So when Isaiah Buggs got back, it's like, you know what? This whole defensive line just kind of went up another level, man. It did. That's a good one.
He's a difference maker.
Hey, Chris, JB, I need to know who you guys' X factors are so far. We got our MVPs and our tone setters, but who are the guys that you think this Lions team is winning because of those guys too?
JB, I'll toss to you first.
All right, well, a little bit of a dark horse here, but
let's go.
All right,
give me
off the road a little bit.
I know, find new roads, but give me Josh Reynolds here.
I love it, JB.
There we go.
The Serpent of Death, as his nickname has been called by Dan Campbell. But I know J-Mo's coming back, and arguably, like, he will be the number 2 wide receiver out there, but I still think Josh Reynolds will somehow contribute to this offense somehow, some way. And you cannot sit here and tell me that him and Goff don't have some kind of weird connection out there. He might not always be open and get the ball to him, but somehow, some way, he's going to somehow make him involved in this game one way or another. I know at times he could go out there and get a dud on the stat sheets, but still, he's going to make his presence known out there. So give me Josh Reynolds as my secret dark horse X factor for this Lions team.
I like that. And you said possible dud. You know who never lays a dud? The Lions post-game show.
Oh, yeah.
With Stick and Maz. The Woodward Sports own Tom Mazaway will be hosting our Lions post-game show after every Lions game. Along with me and Kool Aid will be in the booth sometimes. All season long. Tune in for the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for hot takes off the press, game analysis, and Kool Aid sip and celebration. You won't want to miss it. Mads and special guests each week directly following every Lions game exclusively on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you guys tune that in. We had a great show last night. Biggins, he was a great caller. We had a couple great callers on there. So anytime after the Lions game, you want to talk your shit? Call up Woodward Sports and just preach.
Check in.
We open the lines. You can just talk your shit about the Lions game. Just open up. But, Chris.
Yes, sir.
JB gave his X Factor.
Yeah.
You, sir. You are now on the stand. Who is your X Factor?
The chats too,
You know
man.
what?
Put your X factors in the chat.
I'm gonna change my answer. I'm gonna go with JB because I originally had Cam Sutton for the reasons we talked about earlier. I just feel like, again, if your cornerback is not, if you're not hearing a word out of his or you're not hearing his name during the broadcast, then things are good, and that's a huge part of this defense. But at the end of the day, I have to go with Josh Reynolds because Josh Reynolds has been essential for them as a wide receiver. I know Sam Laporta's been awesome as well, but Josh Reynolds has been the guy that Goff has thrown to in a lot of tough situations. Sam Laporta has gotten himself open and done a good job. Amon-Ra obviously is Amon-Ra. We all know this. You can't be an X factor when you're the best player on the offensive side of the ball. But Josh Reynolds has been the one that Goff has consistently relied on in big plays so far. Something that we kind of saw with DJ Chark last year, and we were kind of wondering who's going to be that extra security blanket when it can't be Amon-Ra. And right now, at least in this very moment, it looks like it's Josh Reynolds, so I'm going to go with him. That's a great answer, JB.
I like it.
That's a great answer. You know what? This reminds me of like the Lions coaching staff, man. No egos.
Yeah.
Nobody is. You know what? Oh, you know what? That's an improvement there. I like that. I'm going to change my answer too. But I was thinking for my X factor, honestly, Cam Sutton. But I feel like it's Laporta, man. But I'm somewhere between
not catching
Cam
any
Sutton,
flack from me.
Lagoda.
Yeah, and Lagoda. Like, Cam Sutton, especially when you see him around the team, when you hear him talking, you know that that's a veteran presence. That's a guy who's bringing so much to this squad. And I think for players like Jerry Jacobs, who had like a bad week just previously, to be able to kind of have someone like Cam Sutton in your corner.
Holding it down?
Holding it down to continue to
Holding down.
coach you up. Because, listen, he's not
holding it down.
Yeah, he's not one of those silent leaders. You got some of those guys that kind of lead by example. He's somebody that's going to definitely talk you up as well. And I actually think that plays a big part because we have to depend on guys like this. Jerry Jacobs was somebody who last year, we were like, we have a future with him at cornerback.
Yep.
Coming into this season, a couple plays here or there, and his confidence was really, really down, man. It really was. Now I'm looking at this thing with Cam Sutton. I'm like, you know what? I like what they can be, but Laporta,
Lagoda, La Hall of Famer,
come on,
La Yellow Jacket.
Look, bro, he's been to me like the safety blanket. It's been somewhere between he and Josh Reynolds, man.
Has been.
They've just continued to make plays and just be big on the field, and I like his when Goff throws it, even if it's kind of out of his reach, man. The ability to just go up and snag that ball, and the ability to get the pass, turn up field. And we say this about guys like David Montgomery from the running back position, their ability to just fall forward for 2 or 3 extra yards. Campbell seems to always be able to get forward, push for first downs. I remember before his big touchdown, last game, before the Packers game, against the Falcons, he was the one that was really the big target on that drive the entire time, pushing and fighting for first downs. I remember he moved the pile too.
That's why I went down to training camp, and when we went down to training camp, I went with Jeff Booner and Gentry, and you could see that it was Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta were the targets getting down the field. But there's going to be another target getting down the field, Jameson Williams.
Talk about it.
And I want to talk about him. We got to go to break, but when we come back, I want to talk about him and what that means for this upcoming week against the Carolina Panthers. So we'll talk about that. But first, who do we have to hear from?
You gotta hear from me about Planet Fitness, because Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. And yes, everyone, they are still just $10 a month. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you will be able to do that, just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more info soon.
We are back. Victory Friday, Free JMO Friday, Kelvin Birthday Friday, just a regular Friday in general.
Man, I'm feeling ecstatic, and you know what? With J-Mo being back, I think we got to talk about what that actually looks like. So Lucas looks, man, you're gonna have to tell me about J-Mo and the effect he is gonna have on this Detroit Lions offense. I know we talked about the stat line earlier, and I saw a bunch of people saying ease him back in, about 50 yards, maybe a touchdown. But how is he going to play?
Right. So outside of the stats, what are we actually going to see?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, man. It's tough. I mean, I think bringing him back, he's not going to get a full workload right away, just for the fact that he is dealing with that injury. But I think he is going to be 60%, 70% of what you'd expect, not going right away full go, but he will be eased into that. But I think he's just going to be a huge threat for this offense. You're talking about what this Lions, we kind of touched on earlier about the whole Mike Evans thing, why the Lions fans want a Mike Evans is to have that big play threat, somebody that can go and get down the field quickly. Now, Mike Evans does that with his strength and his power and being able to high point the ball. Jameson Williams does it with flat out fucking Tyreek Hill speed. That's what he does. See, that's what he brings to the offense. Not to mention, we just talked about Tyreek Hill playing for the Miami Dolphins. They have the most motions pre-snap out of anybody in the league. You know who's number 2 is?
Who?
The Detroit Lions and Ben Johnson. So Jamison Williams, you bet your ass, he's not only just going to be in the threat in the receiving game. I guarantee, we already saw it last year with Panay, the lead blocker against Chicago. They'll give him some jet sweep. They're going to use him in motion and get him some screens going. So I think he's not just going to be strictly a deep threat. Maybe off the get-go, just to ease him back up to the game speed, make sure that hamby's all good. That's what they use him for. But I think when you talk about on primetime games, like when they Monday night at home against the Raiders, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be flowing, I believe. And you're going to have Jamison. You know the speed, not to mention, you got the speed, and now you got to deal with the power of Amon-Ra St. Brown and the power of Sam Laporta, the power of David Montgomery, the power of this Detroit Lions offensive line. And that is just going to allow Jared Goff to go, Now it's going to be a lot easier for Jared Goff to make reads. We see these 3 interceptions in the last couple of weeks. I understand that. But now these safeties are going to have to be lined up deeper.
Exactly.
The corners are going to have to be lined up deeper. The linebackers are going to be extended deeper because you got to worry about that. The whole scheme for this Lions offense is going to be changed if you're the other team. Like how you game plan for them, everything is changed now. Carolina is sweating because they have film on a Lions team that they thought they were going to be playing on next Sunday, and they're going to be playing a completely different team. They're going to be playing a completely different offense. Yep. Jamison Williams coming back right now, it's like, it feels like a Christmas gift. Like it's just like Christmas came early for the Detroit Lions. You're already doing really well, but now you got extra pep in your step. You got an extra burner out there on the outside that can affect the game in multiple ways.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm glad that you said that too, because the thing that I've been thinking about is Jared Goff's interceptions have been because the safeties have been able to just camp. If J-Mo was out there streaking up the left side or the right side of the field, those safeties aren't in a position to just sit back and do that. And that's where we're going to see guys like Jahmyr Gibbs, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown, lunch. Laporta, lunch, absolutely lunch. You know, I know a lot of people, I've seen conversations, we've been in chats and things like that, where they say, well, what is he really going to do? It's just not about what you think he's going to, like what stat line he's going to put up. It's about the effect that he can have on the actual game. Is he somebody that they have to game plan for? Yes, because they don't know what's in store. If they don't game plan for J-Mo, what do you think is going to happen?
J-Mo season. That's what's going to happen. J-Mo.
That's what's going to happen. Listen, it was almost as if when Goff was going down that drive, and we got to see the mic'd up aspect of it when he was talking to Laporta, like, yeah, this is the one.
Don't want to tell you guys this, but this is the one.
This is the one. And if you look at the game, it's kind of because the defense was not respecting them downfield at all. There had to be something that Goff was looking at and seeing to be able to know, I'm calling this play. Tone setter, by the way. I'm calling this play.
Catchphrase.
Yeah, I'm calling this. And that's what we saw with J-Mo as well.
Yeah.
That long touchdown, he was wide open. Why? Because I don't think that guys like Laporta's going to be game plan for every week now.
You have to.
And J-Mo, though, when he got back, I don't think he was really game plan for.
Oh my God.
I'm ecstatic.
This
man.
offense is going to be flowing. Like Ben Johnson's playbook, it was opened up already, but now it's just going to be opened up exponentially because he's going to be able to add wrinkles now. Now they actually has Jamison Williams on the field. He already had designs for him, but now you're like, okay, let's do this with J-Mo. Okay, next week. We did that with J-Mo last week. Let's do this with them. And when you do that, you know who that's going to help out? It's going to help out David Montgomery. It's going to help out Sam Laporta. It's going to help out Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's going to help out Jared Goff. It's going to help out Jahmyr Gibbs. Fellas, the Booth boys, Chris, JB, what do you guys think this means with J-Mo coming back as far as for this offense?
I mean, again, this is something that is just adding another weapon, and I think it's going to be more impactful, the threat of J-Mo, rather than J-Mo actually himself in these first couple games while he's getting acclimated. We've seen that, and we've known that from him, that it takes time to incorporate a weapon like this. It takes time to incorporate yourself in a complicated Ben Johnson offense. So I think this is something that the Lions will benefit from, but I think they will reap the benefits at the end of the season most. I think at the end of the season, you're going to look at J-Mo and you're going to be like, wow, that is a very, very solid number 2 next to Amon-Ra. But for now, right now, he's going to be, and I mean no disrespect, but he's going to be a Khalif Raymond type where it's a play here, a play there, and those are going to make a difference in a game. But you're not going to see wide receiver 2 J-Mo until the end of the season, in my opinion.
I can get with that, and that's what I think too. But Khalif Raymond, another guy, talk about X Factor, he's one of them. But yeah. J-Mo. JB.
I'll take that name too. It's okay. Yeah, I'll take that too.
What are your thoughts on what Jameson Williams is going to do for this offense?
Well, let me just start off by saying that Ben Johnson is probably at home right now losing his mind. He's thinking of plays right now. He's got the whiteboard in the back. Look, we're going to move him right here. Then he goes right here. Then right here. He's just drawing all this stuff out in his mind right now, getting ready for J-Mo to just hop back in there. I honestly think this is going to be big for the Lions right now. J-Mo's going to step up and come right back into that wide receiver 2 spot. And Lucas, I'm going to have to disagree with you on this. I think he gets a full workload. If you look at from last season, my man only got 9 targets.
You're not worried about his hammy at all, though?
I'm not worried about the hammy at all. Look, J-Mo is ready to go. He wants to prove everyone wrong from last year who sat there and called him a bust. So he is going to sit out here. It's like, hey, look, I want to be out there on every play. Give me the entire workload you need to, because you know what? I'm here to prove a point. I know the whole fan base has been looking down on me because of this whole gambling thing. He apologized for it. He said it's sorry. It's his fault. He didn't know. Hell, we all didn't know. But at the same time, he wants to be proven out there and not to be known as a bust for this Detroit Lions team. So he's going to be out there for every single play, proving himself. And he's going to look in the camera and say, I told you, I told you, I told you.
I like it. I like it, JB. And after he does that, you know where you can hear about that from? The Lions Insider Show. Woodward and Maine. Want the latest information on the Detroit Lions? The Lions Insiders have you covered with this show twice a week. Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and the legend, Terry Foster bring to you the latest news and breakdowns of the Detroit Lions. From Tuesday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. and Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. Lions Insider Show. You stop by for game day. Check them out. The Lions, Woodward, and Maine. Check it out on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. That was a tough one for me.
Bro, it's like the rich get richer, though. Like, getting J-Mo back with the impact he can make to the game, to the overall game plan. I got this stat here, man. The Lions have the most 20-point-plus games in a row in the NFL at 13. Do you guys know who's the next closest and what they have?
Trying to think.
I got it.
My guess would be Kansas City.
KC or the Niners, yeah.
KC,
Niners
and I'm guessing
at 9.
The Niners have 9?
Yes.
And the Lions have 13?
13, bro.
Wow.
That offense has been lunching.
And they're getting J-Mo back.
And they're getting J-Mo
back. This week. Not in 2 games. This week. This week they get J-Mo back. And I don't know if you guys have been watching the Carolina Panthers lately, but sheesh. They're going up against Andy Dalton. This game's going to get out of hand, I think.
Is anybody worried? I feel like I just have to ask,
About
but like,
the
even
Panthers?
in the chat, is anybody worried about this game? We were confident going into the Packers game, like, just shut down the run, make them one-dimensional. We were 2 weeks in a row.
I don't know what the Panthers have as far as like what scares me. Now I love Adam Thielen.
Okay,
don't
I was
get
gonna
me
say
wrong.
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen,
dog.
Wore number 19 in high school for him, but I just don't think they have anything that could keep up with this Lions offense. I really don't. And I think every player on that Lions roster, even the ones that weren't on the team, remember that game in Carolina last year. So I think not only do they have momentum, but again, they have an excuse to kind of have a chip on their shoulder. I think that's what this Lion team does as a whole. Like, they look for a reason to have a chip on their shoulder, and they play like it. They play angry. Isaiah Buggs, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder all year. That's going to be just carrying through. So the fact that now you can just keep adding and adding and adding reasons to build the momentum, I'm not worried. I really am not. I think this game could look like how they did against Jacksonville, potentially, because they're at home too. You know what I mean? Like, that stadium just gonna be loud. They're coming off a huge Thursday night when Jameson Williams is coming. Do you know how loud Ford Field will get if Jameson Williams catches a touchdown pass? Do you know how loud? You think it was loud as a rookie? Think about now with all this momentum when the Lions are 3-1, and Jameson Williams can now go like this to everybody. Man, Ford Field will be popping. But I'm not worried about it. We got to touch on that coming out of break. But before we go on to break, got to hear about
Guardian Alarm.
Guardian Alarm is customized solutions from real experts. Their personal technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. With 24/7 professional monitoring, you can call at any time, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will be there to stay on the phone with you as long as needed. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work by people who are proven to care. Call this number at 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that is 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with the best dispensary around. That is Dispo. With over 12 locations, including the new location that is now in Whitmore Lake, Dispo is never far away. Dispo Romeo is now open until midnight every day except Sunday. The only cannabis mall of its kind. Dispo Dispensary. DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
We're back! Woodward Heavyweights, Woodward Sports. No Spence and Easy, they'll be back. It's myself, Lukas Klotz, the ball knower. To my left, Detroit Kool Aid.
That's right.
The man, the myth, the legend. We got, of course, Chris Platte in the booth. The real Chris Platte. The voice of reason, JB Smooth. But fellas, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Are you guys worried about this Carolina game at all?
No.
I mean, that silence. That silence says enough, man.
Crickets?
That silence says enough, man. You're not scared. I mean, all of the reasons, all of the factors going into it. You're at home this time. Last time you got smacked, and I know that the Lions are looking at that's the game that really cost them. Obviously, every loss cost them in the grand scheme of things, but while they were on that streak, that was the game that they just completely laid an egg. You have a rookie quarterback who's probably out, and now you're going against Andy Dalton, who's seasoned, but he's also named Andy Dalton, so you're not scared of that.
The red rifle.
Like, you got nothing. That defense is good, but offensively, what do you got? What do you got to be worried about? What do you got to be concerned about? And as Kool Aid just mentioned, this is a team that's dropping 20 points consistently. So I don't think there's any level of concern. The only way it could concern is if the Lions got too cocky, too comfortable, and just completely overlooked it. And that's what they did last year. So I can't see them doing that again. I can't see this locker room, this coaching staff letting that happen again.
JB?
I agree with Chris. Like, the only way the Lions lose this game is if they start looking ahead and overlooking the Carolina Panthers and getting too cocky, as Chris says. But like he said before, the coaching staff is not going to allow that. Everyone in that locker room is humble and all about the team right there. So unless Cam Newton is coming out of that locker room, unless Christian McCaffrey makes a return,
you got like 5'9" Bryce Young.
Oh no, he can't even see over his offensive line. Like, come on now.
Brutal. He's looked brutal.
It's terrible out there for that guy. Come on.
Shout out to the chats, man. I'm cracking up, yo. Shout out B Ruthless 81. He said out there looking like a toddler. We about to get a child abuse charge for Bryce.
He's already hurt too. That's the thing. I can't believe that Bryce Young's already hurt, and it's an ankle. It's not even like something that would be like structural, like his shoulder, which I expected. Why?
Goodness gracious, man. Goodness. But I'm not worried about this game at all. And you know, Lukas, you said something off camera, man. What did you say? What has helped you be a lot more confident going into this Panthers game?
I think last night the fact that the Lions went into Lambeau and claimed the NFC North, like solidly, like convincingly. Lions fans should just start having confidence. Exactly. The Kings of the fucking North. They arrived. And when they arrived, which they did last night officially for 2023, just have confidence, I think, going forward. I understand that, well, like going into Baltimore, for example, that's the next true test, I think. Have some confidence. It doesn't mean that you have to go and say Lions win for sure. But start turning the page. Start realizing that this team has showed you numerous times that they can win. They know how to win. Jared Goff said it. Take us anywhere. Put us anywhere. Put us against anyone, any place, anytime. They're willing to go in there and win that game. And I think now they have the talent, the coaching, and the ability to win those games. So I think as Lions fans, it's time to take a deep breath. Just be confident. Let that anxiety of like, oh, the Lions going to blow this one. I don't think so. Because if they would have last night, and they didn't.
Man, I love that. And listen, the Lions have made me confident, but kind of being amongst the fans, and the fans, man, you could barely hear the interview last night. David Montgomery, Jared Goff were at the table, and Lions fans were just going absolutely ballistic, man. And I love it. They went there and they owned Lambeau Field. I see people in the comments are saying that it's now called Campbell Field. I like that. I like that. Shout out to MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell. I love that, man. And you could tell it's not a confidence that's built on nothing. I feel like the fans know this squad is something. And I'm hoping that the team takes the lead of a Jared Goff who continues to be unmoved by anything. By interception, I'm going to come right back and I'm going to dot your eye. You know what I'm saying? Like saying put us anywhere, calling out show hosts. Like this team, I don't know who it is, if it's JG, if it's Dan Campbell, if it's Brad Holmes, if it's Sheila. It might be Queen Sheila. You guys got that graphic, man?
Beautiful woman.
You know, from the top of the organization down, it's just this confidence. And it absolutely took over Ford Field. It absolutely took over Lambeau. And I think it's going to be something that does play a big part in this Lions season moving forward. The fact that you're not just like, you know, not basing it on anything. Like you said, it's like the game last night. It proved a lot to me because we went into that game confident about our Lions, but we still went into that game saying, prove it to us. Now it's like, you know what? Like when I talked about it with Terry Foster, is this a squad that we can look at the same way that the Niners, the Seahawks, the Patriots have been able to look at their squads and know, no, we got a good team. I believe that this Lions squad with that win last night, and a lot of fans' minds have crossed that threshold now. This is a good team. Go out there and win. Because some people, they're like, stop the brakes. We've been 3-1 before, and you saw how that turned out. It's not just that it's a different team. It's what this team is, how this team was put together, and who's leading this team, man. You got Queen Sheila up there, man. She was looking like a villain at the stadium last night, bro.
I got to find out. Give me a second to load it up. I got you.
Definitely. But I like what she's been doing, man, because one of the pictures, and I should have probably sent the other one too, when she was at kind of one of those last games of the Patricia Quinn era, and she was sitting up at the top, and someone got a picture of her with her hands like this over her face. And I remember some fans were split. They were like, yo, she's really, really pissed, and she's about to make changes. Other fans were like, it's just for show. Sell the team. The Ford family is never going to blah, 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 blah. She's come in and has absolutely wrecked, man.
Queen.
Yo, Queen Sheila. They said, yo, she looked like a villain. She's the evil step mother, the queen, man. She just goes in and she's doing work. Something completely different here, man. And I think that it's infectious. I'm hoping that fans are sure on this team just as much as we are.
She's just a Bond villain out there. She's ready to turn her chair slowly. Like, yes, it's my turn.
JB, while we got the cam on you, does last night, does that give you any more additional confidence, or does it keep your confidence level from the same after the Falcons game?
No, it gives me a lot more confidence because going in, obviously that first drive, it wasn't ideal, but seeing the Packers drive down there, I was a little nervous. It's like, oh boy, is Jordan Love the actual quarterback that everyone's been talking about, hyping up so much? And honestly, afterwards, he's not. But this defense has really impressed me so much for the Lions as well, too. I mean, the pass defense, you know, it's coming along. It's moving pretty well. But this run-stopping defense, it is elite. It is top-notch, and honestly, I can't wait for the next game when they just destroy the next running back or wide receiver group that they have out there. So, I mean, this could be the top, what are we saying, top 5 defense?
As of right now, I'm willing to say so. I mean, let's think. Beat Patrick Mahomes. Shut down that offense. I understand the receivers were dropping a lot of passes, but you still have to give the credit for the Lions shutting down Patrick Mahomes. Geno Smith, yeah, that looked a little rough, but that's an explosive offense, and I don't think there was good coaching in that game. Bounce back. You shut down Bijan Robinson, in my opinion, what will be the best running back duo in the NFL this year. I still believe that. And then you come back, and now you do the same thing to Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, who they've already played against the Lions. It's not like they didn't know what the Lions were about. They were fully aware. They booted Aaron Rodgers out of Lambeau. They were fully aware of it. But I mean, I don't know, Chris. What do you think?
I mean, I think that after you tell us about where Lions fans should tune in before the games, then I think.
Now we're putting it back on me.
We'll tease
all right. Well, Lions
pregame.
pregame. Fucking Chris. Lions pregame. The Woodward Sports Lions pregame show. Return. Shh. I'm doing a live read for another season of Lions football. Join Hollywood Jeff Iafrate.
Look at that man.
All right.
He runs the network.
Whatever, you can say what you want about Hollywood. Jeff Iafrate, joined by weekly special guest hosts on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. The Lions pregame show Sunday mornings from 9:30 to 11:30. The Lions pregame show all season long right here on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Fuck right. Chris. Contenders?
You're asking me if the Lions are contenders.
Does this give you confidence that they are contenders? Should I say? Or just more so confidence in general, and then we can expand to contenders.
You
I kind of jumped the gun on that.
Expectations because we came into the season with this notion of, we're going to finally potentially win the division. We're going to finally host a playoff game. And a lot of fans' expectations just kind of stopped there because I think we wanted to see what this squad was going to be. And so, Chris, has your expectation for the Detroit Lions changed after these first 4 games?
Now that all the anticipation has built, let me give you my answer. My answer is the same as it's been all season. Like, this is just the Lions reaffirming where I thought they'd be. I thought they'd be 3-1. I thought it'd be a different 3-1. I thought they would have lost the Kansas City game and won the Seattle game. But either way, you're still in the exact same position that I thought. You're on pace to be an 11 to 12 win team. That's about what I expected this team to be. I expected this team to host a playoff game, to win the North, and to be competitive and most likely be favored to win that first playoff game. So when you put all of that together, then they are a contender, yes, because you're talking about any team to me that gets to the second round of the NFL playoffs is a true contender because all you are is a hot streak away. I mean, you look at the Giants, you look at Eli Manning, like, those teams that just peaked right at the right time, and they wouldn't have been necessarily labeled contenders, but they got hot come playoff time. And once you get past that first round, basically anything goes. You're an injury away. You're a play away. All of these things there's just way too many variables. And so at that point, if you can last for that long, then you are a contender by true standards. So I'm not picking the Lions to win the NFC, but can they do it? Absolutely.
I'd love to hear it. Hey, I don't think he missed. I don't think Chrissy P missed there. Bravo, sir.
Bro, the booth has been on fire.
And I think, honestly, because I'm not going to act like I didn't say it, I would say when we were on the morning show, I believe it was Wednesday, we were talking about it, I said, not yet. Not yet. And I think I was wrong. I think I was wrong. I don't know. I was trying to be very realistic. And if I'm being very realistic after last night, the fact that, to Chris's point, they're 3-1. But to me, it's in the style that they've been 3-1 in. If they don't go into overtime and they beat Seattle, they're a 4-0 team that's been dominating through 4 quarters in most of their games.
Yeah.
That's just plain facts. And the fact that they've been able to do that, and you look around the NFL right now, the Dallas Cowboys just lost to the Arizona Cardinals. People consider them contenders. Fuck the Cowboys. Fuck Dak Prescott. They consider them contenders. If you consider
FTC
the Dallas Cowboys contenders, you have to consider the Detroit Lions contenders. The Detroit Lions know what they are. They know their identity. The Dallas Cowboys, not so much. But we'll come back to this after the break. But first, who do we have to hear from, Chris?
We have to hear from Kool Aid about Mark White.
Mark White. Yeah, listen, man. When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That is exactly what Mark White & Associates offers. It's called the Minute-by-Minute Listing Agreement by Mark White & Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesales.com or call 248-290-8242. MarkWhiteSales.com, where flexibility meets success.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field, which can also be used for 7-on-7 football. At the Academy of Warren, it features kindergarten through 8th grade with AM and PM latchkey, smaller classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, and so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollments, so go and check them out online today at theacademyofwarren.net. Now, back to the light heavies.
There we go. Hey. The lightweights, the light heavyweights.
That's right.
No easier Spencer Day. Make sure you like to stream for the fellas while they're out. They'll be back soon. They're on the pup list.
Yeah.
Out partying hard.
On a mission to free J-Mo. So
yeah, Easy was definitely on a mission last night. But yeah, they freed J-Mo. But Chris, do you have the video ready? I kind of want to touch on this. Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Lions had this boy heated, and so did this reporter. Do you got it, Chris?
Yes, I do.
All right, just check this out.
I mean, you saw it, Pete. I mean, we got our ass kicked. If I knew, it wouldn't have happened.
Matt, they didn't blitz until...
That's a BS question, man.
That's pain.
Man, dude, I've been saying it for... And shout out Quay Walker, by the way, while we're at it. Shout out Quay Walker. You ain't got the answers, Quay. You don't have the answers, Quay. Look, Quay Walker's a talented player, but this is 2 years in a row now. Fourth quarter, prime time game between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Lions in their all whites. Quay Walker, I think that's what it does for him. I think he sees the all whites and he's just like, yeah. It's like I made a meme of it earlier. It's like the Green Goblin, where it's like he's like trying to hide the scooter or whatever, his drifter. The mask is on there. And coward. And he always, it's like an annual celebration now. You can expect a Quay Walker unsportsmanlike conduct to win the game for the Lions. I think it's just to set on. But to get back to Matt LaFleur.
A warrior when you're nothing but a coward.
Oh God!
Shout out to the booth, but the booth has been on fire today, man.
We got some warriors.
Dog, man, listen. You know what's awesome? Is that the Lions got other coaches, man. The opposing coaches feeling the pressure, yo. Like, I love the fact that that's not Dan Campbell up there answering those types of questions.
No.
That's a Packers head coach. You know, and you know what? I feel like the Lions going to be one of those squads that are going to start getting coaches fired, bro. I really do.
Matt LaFleur has never had to answer that question before. How does it feel to get your ass kicked? Besides maybe in the playoff game, but that's in the playoff game. Now it's against the Detroit Lions, the team that the Green Bay Packers have beaten the ass of for the last decade and a half. That's the team that's been running the NFC North.
Yep.
Now he has to answer questions of why did you just lose to the Detroit Lions? And now he didn't want to answer.
You know why he was so pissed?
Why is that?
Because he knows that this trajectory is going to go on for a very long time. This isn't like
life's not easy anymore.
That's
in Lambeau.
what I'm talking about. Like last week when the Lions lost to Seattle, it was like, no, we're gonna we know what we are.
Yep.
We know what we are. He's sitting up there looking like he don't know what his team is right now, bro.
They don't have an identity. Because
no identity.
Last year, their defense was very solid, just got exposed. Now, I understand they had Devondre Campbell out, Jair Alexander out, but there was still some glaring exposures with the Packers' defense. Their offense, Jordan Love just had a shitter. Who would have thought? I don't know. Who would have thought Jordan Love might be mid? Who would have fucking thought that? He's not the next Aaron Rodgers. Who would have thought? Running game didn't get going. Again, I understand that Elton Jenkins and David Bakhtiari out. But David Bakhtiari's on IR. Elton Jenkins very well could be as well. So you're going to have to game plan for that. That's just the reality of the game. The Lions had to do it with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They had to do it for a little bit with Taylor Decker, and they're having to do it with Big V. And Matt LaFleur does not. I'm telling you, it's always been the Packers, been this veteran organization that's been there before, done that. They got the talent. They have the coaching. They have everything they need. Now the Packers, they're 2-2. Their losses are to a division rival and not even that much of a legitimate team, the Falcons, who just lost your division rival.
Mm-hmm.
So the Packers have a lot of question marks around them on every phase of the ball. They've never had heat like this on them before.
Bro, listen, Bro, the fans took over your stadium. The Lions took over your team. Sheila took over your organization.
They took over
last night.
Wisconsin. Dave Lillard's still there, but so are Lions fans.
Bro, that was just a vacation. They were like, hey, we just kind of want to visit Green Bay before it gets too cold to visit Green Bay. Have some drinks, have some cheese, have some good food, maybe visit some family out there. Oh, yeah, guys, there's going to be a dub. That's what I'm saying. And he knows every time they come to town, this is happening. This is happening every single time. That's what that face was. And I love it. I love it. Chef's kiss, man. Lions are turning other teams into babies, bro. It's a new era.
Soft.
I love it.
Soft. Everybody talked about the Atlanta Falcons, how angry they played, how powerful that running game was. No. Not against Dan Campbell, the Detroit Lions. But JB, Chris, I'll go to you first, JB. What do you take out of Matt LaFleur, those comments, and more importantly, just how flustered he was after the game?
Like, as you can see, he didn't want to answer that question. And if you look in that man's eyes, you see pain and maybe even a little tear about to fall down, too. Because, like,
his lip was quivering, bro.
He did not want to be up there on that stand just answering these questions because he didn't have the answers. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do anymore. And it's baffling because now a lot more coaches are going to be like this when they get up there. Like, hey, we just lost to the Detroit Lions. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I got to go back to the drawing board. I'm sorry, but that's all. That's end of the questions. End of all the questions. I have to go.
What do you think? JB's been there before. He's like, I just got to go. I just got to go. Chris, what do you think? What do you make of those remarks by LaFleur?
I mean, look, that's a man in pain right there. That's a man.
Fighting for my life out here.
Exactly. What's that therapy phrase? Hurt people. Yeah, that's what he did. He took it out on that journalist who was asking a question, albeit not the most intelligent, thoughtful question, but hurt people. That's what it is, and he's gonna have to deal with it for a while because we're divisional opponents, and all you gotta do is, if you're Matt LaFleur, you just got to take pride in knowing that the Vikings and Bears are also in your division. That's
the one thing they have going. The fact that they have that, and the NFC South is absolute just horseshit. Yeah. So don't have to worry about that. Yeah. They have a little bit going for them. They just did get Christian Watson back. The Lions, this very same week, actually a day after, are now getting Jameson Williams back. So slap right back.
My one question then is, okay, how many wins clinches a division for the Lions? Like, because the Packers at this point, we're very surprised if the Vikings or the Bears overturn them in the division standings. They're probably going to be the biggest threat to the Lions. As you see, they're not really a threat. I mean, this team looks like a 6 or 7 win team max. Like, does Green Bay look like they're more than 6 or 7 wins? Like, I don't think so. Any given Sunday. I mean, yeah, it's going to have to be a whole lot of.
Not for the Packers.
It's going to have to be a whole lot of giving on those Sundays.
I mean, I don't. Because that's the thing. It's like everybody was super high in the Packers, but then if you really look at the Packers heading into last night, you're like, okay, there's some skepticism. And now I don't think a 6-win team, but I'm thinking like anywhere from like 7, 8, 9. I'm not even going to give them 9, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because if they lost to the Falcons and we just shitting on the NFC South and they scraped out of there against the Saints, man, they don't have a tough schedule. I know they played the Cardinals and the Rams late in the season. The Lions, they had to play the Seahawks, and I don't know. They got an easier schedule, but I don't have faith in this team right now. Again, I said it going into the game. The Packers got to prove it to me, and they still have yet to do that. So I'm not taking them serious right now. I'm sorry, I'm not, especially after last night. They got to come. The next time we play them is in Ford Field on Thanksgiving, which is always one of the most packed environments and the best environments. Prime time again. Jared Goff, I trust him. I don't trust Jordan Love in prime time.
Listen, man, this is actually shaping up to be one of the biggest Thanksgiving games that the Lions have played in, I think, any of our lifetimes.
Yeah.
Seriously. This should be a feast. We should be able to actually eat our food with no indigestion, bro, no heartburn. Like, by halftime, we should
Remember
be
last year?
Celebrating, man. It should be a celebration. This Thanksgiving game, I want to see them go out. If you went in the Lambeau and did that to the Packers, woodshed at Ford Field. Please. Please.
That's the one game where, for me, you just don't lose. At this point, I don't know. Go 2-0 against the Packers, and you can go 1-1 against the Vikings or the Bears, in my opinion. But go 2-0 against the Packers, and just so you can have that respect. You can have like that one Cardinals loss for the Cowboys later in the season or something. But for me, fuck the Packers more than anything.
I feel like the Vikings are going to get us at least once.
The Vikings could expose us just because of the weapons they have, because they could get to a shootout.
Yeah, Jefferson's
so maybe,
crazy.
like, for example, if that happened, I wouldn't be too upset because I could see, like, the Vikings are going to be due for a win eventually. You know what I mean? And if the Lions are in good position, I'm not going to be too mad at it. But we'll get back to it. We got to go to break first. But before we go to break, Chris, who do we got lined up for us?
We got me. We got none other than me. We're talking about Glorious Cannabis, and it is just in time for football. Glorious Canna is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. I just had a sample. It's incredible, man. It smells so good. Strain. It's like the whiff. Hold on, we're getting there. We got to build to it. First of all, when you first unpackage it, it feels like the whiff of a first playoff win in 31 years. It feels just absolutely great. But it is, like my mother-in-law, it is a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off using the code Woodward. Check us out online at gloriouscanna.com for more information.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Well, let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company, the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan grown and family owned, featuring bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. I know that's D-Mac's favorite.
Even a weed whipper!
Even a weed whipper. Liberty trailers, Generac generators, and so much more. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy it, rent it, zero financing, and they deliver it right to your doorstep. Check them out online today at OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Everything about it, man. That's one. That's two in a row, and it's a conference win, gentlemen. Keep great. We're 3-1 at the quarter. Yep. Man, the sky's the limit. We keep playing defense the way we're playing. And we control the game on offense. We control the game on offense. We can do whatever we want to do, man. But we can never lose this. We can never lose this. It is a team ball. Who said that? Oh, team ball. There ain't no doubt.
Let's go.
That's an outstanding win, man. I'm so proud of you guys. That's one, man. That is one division win. You guys get your rest. Enjoy this break. You fucking earned it. And then we move on and we get ready for Carolina after this.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how about that fucking defense today, boys? Hey, keep doing this. It's just a start. Keep fucking doing this. Know who the fuck we are. Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Know who
I
you
fucking love that. Woodward heavyweights, we are back. That just got me fucking. Got
Ready
me
to
stoked.
run through a brick
got
wall,
me stoked.
man.
Got me bricked.
Let's rock, man. Hey, shout out Easy and Spinny, man. I need you guys to show some love to Easy and Spinny in the chats, definitely. Show some love to the booth.
Yes,
They've
sir.
been on fire. Chris.
They have been.
JB. It's been awesome, man.
It has been.
Also, if you've enjoyed this at all, definitely go ahead and hit that like button for
Go
us.
ahead. Just a little thumb icon down the bottom. Go ahead and hit it if you like.
Dude,
But-
I am pumped up, man.
Dan Kim, you know what the fuck I loved about the most? The very ending. And I kind of said the same exact thing when we were just talking about the Cowboys and Lions. The Detroit Lions know who the fuck they are.
Yep.
And so when you start talking about adding Jamison Williams back on offense, adding Emmanuel Mosley back on defense, they're not having to change anything because they know what the fuck the style of play is. They know that for 4 quarters on offense, we're going to burn you out. We're going to run David Montgomery. We're going to check it down to Amon-Ra St. Brown, let him make plays. We're going to give it to Samuel Porter, let him make plays. Now we got Jamison Williams back, so that's not affecting any of that. Now, it might take some touches out of the other receivers' hands, but this offense is still going to be going at the same pace. And probably even at a better pace now when you talk about guys are going to be getting healthier. When you talk about Taylor Decker, he's probably going to be getting healthier. David Montgomery's going to be getting healthier. Amon-Ra St. Brown still dealing with the toe. The defensive side, stop the run. That's what they know. You stop the run. This Detroit Lions, when they stop the run, the defense is just not the same when they don't. You stop the run against any team. This Detroit Lions defense is a top 10 defense overall, in my opinion. Not to mention, they did this without Kirby Joseph last night, who was making plays for them in Lambeau last year.
Oh, they
so
got
now
depth.
they're going to have Emmanuel Mosley back in the secondary. They're going to have Kirby Joseph back in the secondary. And they're going to have Jamison Williams back when they play the Packers next time. Like you said, first division win. They got 5 more. I think they can sweep. I wasn't saying last time. I know me and you were kind of going back and forth. I was just saying, if they were to lose the divisional game, I don't want it to be against the Packers. But I think very well, after last night, man, they can go 6-0 in the fucking division.
That's what I want to be able to throw around real quick as well is, what do you guys believe the Lions are going to do in the division this year? Are they running the table? And in chats, man, you guys definitely put it in the chats as well. Are you confident that the Lions are going to run this division, lose no games in it, or do you think that there's 1 or 2 that's going to catch them?
Yeah, I absolutely think they're running this division. I said that before the season. I actually said that this was the probably most advantageous for Green Bay or for any divisional opponent against Detroit on this schedule. Again, coming off of that Falcons game.
That's a big word. Can you define for me? Yeah. Advantageous.
I'll break it down to you. But it's something that going into the season I was concerned for the Packers, or I was concerned for that game in particular, because coming off of the short rest between the Atlanta game, it being your first game in the division, everybody kind of feeling each other out, like that was them wanting that cake back for the game last year when the Lions cost them the playoff spot.
Yep.
So to me, this was the one I'm concerned about, and winning this, to me now, the rest of them should be a lot more favorable. You can't obviously any given Sunday. I know the Vikings are 0-3, but again, the Justin Jefferson combination can just never be totally slept on.
Yep.
But even then, I think they have a sour taste after blowing that game last year in Minnesota.
KJ Osborne,
so I think
you.
I think it's just a perfect storm of motivational factors for the Lions, to where they're not going to have any issues staying locked in with these divisional opponents throughout this season. So they should go 6-0.
Yeah,
they should.
And JB, I want to hear your response on it too before I kind of add a little side comment.
They should absolutely run through this division. I know at the beginning of the season I was a little worried about Chicago, especially because they spent a lot of money this offseason to improve everything, but coming out here the first couple weeks, like, they look terrible. Justin Fields looks terrible.
I'm not even thinking about the Bears. I'm really not.
And now I'm not even thinking about the Bears either. Like, now it seemed like the Packers were the ones to be concerned about, but now after seeing this and seeing how they played yesterday, I am not worried at all. They will run the table in this and just go undefeated in the NFC North.
Gotcha.
Go ahead. I'm just sitting here like, yo, I think this is real life. We talked about it, man. The Detroit Lions are a real football team. I think that they're going to run the table in this division. I noticed a couple people were saying that maybe with that last game of the season, maybe if the Lions are resting people, if they're kind of firmly in the playoffs, they could see the Vikings maybe catching the L. But what's good, Lucas?
I would say the only reason I could really see them dropping a divisional game, and we've said it before on prior shows, is just that maybe they rest the starters against the Vikings in like week 18 because they have the division locked up at that point. So that would be the only reason I could see it happening outside of injuries. But I just don't see them losing a divisional game.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But what do you guys, because we already talked about Jameson Williams, I kind of want to, just because I feel like it hasn't been talked about enough, what do you think the impact of Emmanuel Mosley will be for this Detroit Lions defense?
I think, what's up, Chris?
I think it's going to be really, really helpful. I think it's going to be something that is definitely going to not only allow them somebody that can cover the big body receivers, but also just add depth to that secondary and put Jerry Jacobs in now again situations where he's proven to be capable.
Yeah.
He's bounced back very strong. But also now he doesn't have to be in those positions where he's guarding DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and fighting for his life. Like now he can be in more situations that are advantageous to him.
So, yeah, what is that?
It just means like you're in the advantage.
Okay.
You're in the advantage.
No, but that is a good point because now that, and I was kind of thinking about it as you were saying.
Oh, it's interesting.
That's an interesting word.
Thank you.
But Jerry Jacobs, he's going to be bumped down the cornerback 3. But if you think about it, he's going to be guarding the wide receiver 3. Half the time, a wide receiver 3 is either a really young wide receiver. Like right now, you can't really tell who's a wide receiver 2 in Minnesota right now between KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison. True. Or it's kind of just like the weaker of the bunch. So you have Jerry Jacobs, who's a veteran at this point with the amount of playing time, who's played in big-time games and had a big-time impact in that, just like he did last night. So he's going to be able just to, I think, lock that position down even more. And this secondary, man, look out. Look out. We'll talk about it a lot more when we get back. But
it's a new day for the Lions.
It is.
First of all, it's the weekend, fellas.
It's not quite.
Still got Woodward Nights tonight.
We still got Woodward Nights.
Okay.
We still got Woodward Nights.
That's true.
Don't disrespect Booner and Broder.
It's our weekend.
Fine. I still got a TD for it. So it's not my weekend yet, Chris.
Sorry, I didn't mean to rub it in your face, buddy. Shout out to Lucas. Partisan.
But we'll be right back. We got to go to a break. But who do we got to hear from, Chris?
Nobody. Send that show.
Nobody.
So I'm trying to tell you.
Holy fuck! Is it like 7? Bro, what? I'm thinking it's like 6. Like 6. All right, good show, fellas.
I'm trying
good
show.
All right, now I'm up to speed. Now I'm up to speed. All right.
He just wants to work.
What the fuck?
The ball knower, not the time knower. Wrap it up, baby.
Thank you guys for joining the show. My awareness level right now is the same as Quay Walker in the 4th quarter, but we will catch you guys tomorrow.
No, we won't. Monday.
We got Woodward Nights. Well, not tomorrow. Monday. See, my awareness is just down right now. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Kool Aid. Thank you.
Man, it's like we're drunk off of Lions victories right now.
It is.
Right? That's what
I'm acting like it right now.
Hey, bro, you crushed today.
Appreciate
Booth,
you. Likewise.
You guys crushed.
Yeah, thank you guys for your support.
Appreciate
Make it easy on us.
Yep. Shout out Easy and Spinny.
Yep. They'll be back soon. But until then, this was the Woodward Heavyweights. They'll catch you on Monday.
Hey, Peace. What up, though, people?